Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. I'm hopping on to do a video a little bit about the problem that so many of us in this world seem to have, which is a fear of being unlovable. And last summer, I did a video, something along the lines of the root cause of everything is a love deficit. And I'll find that video and I'll link it at the end of this one, as well as put it into the description for you to go refer back to. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about why and how this fear of not being lovable permeates into absolutely everything into your life, as well as how it comes to be. So for me, as you may or may not know from some of my other videos, I was adopted at the age of 2.5. So I was in the foster care system for a period of time before that. And so my young mind, old enough to be beyond the age of infancy and recognize who my people were, who my mother was, who my grandmother was, and any other peoples that were in my life were there, and then they weren't. And so because there were no people around for me to say, hey, why did that happen? I internalized that as there must be something faulty with me because they gave me away. So I was disposed of like trash. And that's where that root of my belief that I was garbage came from. I even have a photograph of myself in foster care, sitting on a rolled up carpet that's been tossed away. And it just always stood out to me as, oh, look at me, just tossed away with the trash. From there, I was adopted into a home where there was a lot of abuse because my mother was a narcissistic person, and that further stressed or made that programming even deeper into my consciousness, my unconsciousness. And so we go through life then because of these traumas, because of not feeling good enough. And the scapegoat is often placed in the role of not being worthy enough, not being good enough. The question, will I ever be good enough to get your love? And so then the program of I must be unlovable because children, again, absorb that information as something must be fundamentally wrong with me. That program further got really exacerbated. It was like a nuclear explosion going off in my head. Just after I had asked for my divorce, I had turned to my mother and I had told her that I wanted to get a divorce, and she said to me outright, my worst fears come true. That's the stupidest mistake you could ever make. You are unlovable. You are a very difficult person to love, and no one will ever love you. My head kind of blew up. And that was right near the beginning of my Kundalini awakening process. So I immediately went into a lot of trauma release and severe PTSD symptoms. And so this fundamental lack or belief that I was unlovable was something that I carried with me my entire life. And it influenced absolutely every area of my life. Friendships, I would get involved with friends that would not treat me the best. And I always just kind of accepted it, well, I better accept what I can get, because if they find out the truth that I'm totally unlovable, they're going to abandon me. So the fear of being abandoned, as well as the fear of being found out that I was unlovable, made it so I would go out into the world and negate my own needs, not communicate what I felt. And when I did communicate what I felt, it often resulted in a boundary trying to be laid, but somebody going, yeah, no, I'm out. And so the abandonment wound happened over and over and over again. And so when you go out into the romantic field, again, that perpetuated over and over in romantic situations. I would get involved with people. I would get, I would feel very strong feelings for them, and then it would abandon me, or worse, treat me terribly. And when my marriage situation that I just recently escaped from, you know, I was so convinced that I was unlovable, that the fact that somebody was showing me attention, the attitude was, you know, this is the best I'm ever going to get. So the fact that they rage at me, the fact that they you know, breadcrumb me with attention, the fact that there are all these power dynamics at play, I'll just have to accept it, because, you know, I'm never going to get anything better. And when my awakening started and I was given the instruction by soul to save myself, I knew the way to do that was going to be, in part, learning to love myself. And so that's why I use the catchphrase all the time of learn to love the fuck out of yourself, because we've gone through an entire lifetime of negating self and hating self and loathing self. And all of that brought in was more energy of the same. And so the universal laws of attraction mean that, you know, if I am internally feeling that I am worthless, that I am unlovable, that I am undesirable, then I'm going to draw in individuals to teach me exactly those lessons. That either, you know, you need to shift the thinking so that you can get better, or keep accepting more of the same. So on this awakening path, the quest to learn to love myself, to accept more than what I was receiving, became a really fundamental part of this process. And that very much was triggered by the twin flame situation that, or the twin flame situationship, as I like to call it. Because here I was miserable in a very toxic and abusive marriage, and somebody came along and reflected back to me an energy that felt like, oh, like the angels were singing or something. It was a beautiful interaction that quickly disappeared out of my life. It was like a sample of this is what could be. This is the type of feeling that you could have. And I was, as all are on this twin flame journey, completely and utterly like, like enthralled by the energy in which I felt. And this twin flame journey is a very peculiar, crazy making, full of doubt, difficult process, but ultimately it is such an incredible blessing, because when I experienced that heart activation and these feelings, even though it was for another human being, what it activated in me was learning to love self. So taking that energy that I felt in myself towards somebody else and turning back around and doing a U movement and putting all of that love and attention and energy back in myself. So this journey for the last 3 years has been quite amazing, because it has managed to turn it around. For the first time in my life, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking to define myself or validate myself as lovable through the lens of anyone else. And that is what I did throughout all of my adult years. From the time I was 15, I was always looking for, you know, who can validate the fact that I'm lovable, who can tell me and show me that I am lovable. And what this journey does by forcing you to dive deep into the muck and do the shadow work and face these wounds of your inner child and recapture and bring back all of the fractured aspects of soul into wholeness, is you balance within yourself a type of your own lovability, so your own belief that I am lovable, not through the lens of somebody else, but through yourself, through a mirror, through your own journaling, your own self-awareness, your own self-acceptance, your own being you, for your uniqueness. And that's why it's so vitally important that we go through this period of isolation, and I've been in isolation and hermiting for so long that it's kind of become second nature, you know. I kind of think one day maybe I'll be just living in a cabin with a pet goat and a few cats and I'd be fine. Because I like my own company. I like my own sense of humor. I like my body for the first time ever in my life. I like my mind. I like all of these things. And so it becomes a process every single day. And what I did at the very beginning is I made a list, and so I'm going to suggest to you that a journaling exercise. I want you to make a list of all of your positive attributes, every single one that you have. And this might be challenging, especially if you're coming from a position of thinking that you're worthless or not lovable or any of these types of things. You have to switch it around and start adding to that list, and post that list somewhere on your bedroom wall beside where you wake up in the morning, or in a bathroom mirror, and add to it every single day, or as you think of new things, you know. Oh, I like my sense of humor. Oh, I like my eyes. Oh, I like, you know, that I'm very punctual. It doesn't matter what it is. Just start focusing on the positive attributes that you can recognize in yourself, so that you can start bringing about more feelings of self-love and understanding that you are lovable. Because if you can love yourself, then others are going to start to show up in an energy that matches that frequency. So as we turn our frequency up into a more kind, gentle, compassionate, caring energy, then it'll blow your mind. Because when soul tribes started showing up, and I started having friends that treated me with compassion, with care, with support, feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling understood, I was like, what is happening? I recently saw a lovely video that was really cute. You know, a guy had made a TikTok where he's like, so wait, you want to date me? Me. You're not blind, you're not, you know, making jokes, this is for real, you know. He went on with a fun little script, because that's how it kind of feels when all of a sudden you start getting that energy matched. So another tool that I really recommend is spending time every day to look at yourself in the mirror and appreciate your physical form, and appreciate that your look. So not only look at yourself, but touch yourself, you know, give yourself hugs as you need them, because affection is something that you can go through a state of withdrawal on this, you know, twin flame path that you feel so isolated as you're in separation. But eventually, you know, you get through the hard work, and you get to a place where you're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to settle ever again. I don't want to just accept breadcrumbs, or accept maltreatment, or accept disrespect simply because I'm afraid of being alone, or I'm afraid of being proven to be unlovable. Because I can tell you, being on your own, even for an extended period of time, although there, yes, are moments of loneliness, and yes, there's moments where you're experiencing grief on this awakening path that's, you know, overwhelming at times. But there's also moments of dignity and honoring self and feeling a sense of integrity and standing up in your truth and learning that you just have to be you. You don't have to be anybody else. And if anybody else is looking at you and saying anything judging, those aren't your people. Those aren't your people. And on this awakening path, you have to let go of a lot of people. If you've been in an energy for an extended period of time of that, I'm not lovable. And so I have to accept what I can get. That's a lie. I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You are lovable. You are lovable just for existing. You're lovable not for what you do. You are lovable for who you are. You are lovable for not what you have. You are lovable for who you are. You are not needing to show up and self-sacrifice and fawn and cater and twist yourself into a pretzel so that somebody else can tolerate you. That's not love. That's not love. So if you need help on this awakening path, on this twin flame journey, and you're feeling a pull towards somebody else, always bring that pull back to self and honor yourself and say, you know, I'm so at peace with who I am now for the first time in my life that I'd rather have no one. So that fear of, oh my God, I might be alone, like my mother said, for the rest of my life. Well, if that's the case, so be it. I'd rather be alone than be mistreated ever again. And so, you know, I've referred sometimes as the twin flame journey as the trauma bond that ends all trauma bonds. And I think that's very much true, because from what I've seen and heard and talked to with lots of other people is your twin flame situationship is reflecting out all of the toxicity that needs to go in your life. And the more that clears out, the more peace I am just being me. And that's such a wonderful blessing from this heart activation of learning to love the fuck out of yourself, because you are worthy, you are deserving, you are kind, you are compassionate, you have all of the qualities that the divine has placed inside of you to be the unique individual that you are. So I'm sending you all of my love as a reminder that you are indeed lovable. If you need help on this crazy journey and you want to book a one-on-one Zoom call, the way to do that is in the description below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, the growth of this channel, and getting the word out, because every person that wakes up to the reality that they are lovable and helps clear out their own trauma, the better the world is going to be as a whole, because it can't help. As you change, the world around you is forced to change. That's a law of the universe. So the more work you do, pat yourself on the back and say, you are lovable. You are a warrior. You are amazing. Peace out.